The Paul Leslie Hour, helping people tell their stories. And now, your host, Paul Leslie.
Hey, it's me. Hello and welcome to the Paul Leslie Hour. I'm pleased to have you with us. On this episode, I am pulling an interview out of the archives, which has not been heard since its original broadcast. This is an interview with the Spanish jazz pianist Ignasi Terraza. He checked in from Barcelona, Spain. Now that's a place I would like to go that I haven't been. And we taped this interview you're about to hear. Ignasi Terraza is a composer and a performer, but also an accompanist. He's accompanied some great singers, Stacey Kent being one of the very notable ones. And he's recorded some great records. I think you're going to enjoy digging around and listening to his work. As you know, the Paul Leslie Hour is the home of some really unique and exclusive content, interviews with people you don't get to hear from just anywhere. I have tons of recorded interviews like this one, and they need to get out there. I want to accomplish a lot this year, and I do need your help. Just go to thepaulleslie.com, click on Support the Show at the top. It takes but a few seconds and is a big help. No amount is too small or too big, and it goes to help perpetuate this work of getting these interviews out there. Let's get into the interview with Ignasi Terraza right here on the Paul Leslie Hour. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is our pleasure to welcome this man, Ignasi Terraza. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, thanks to you for inviting me to join you.
It's an honor. So you're in Barcelona, Spain?
Yes, I'm from Barcelona. I'm living in Barcelona too now.
And for everyone out there, Ignasi Terraza is a Spanish jazz pianist, and he's made a number of recordings, and he performs. What was life like growing up for you? Where were you born? And
I was born in Barcelona. I'm now 52 years old. And I was interested in music around 12. I lost my sight at 9, and when a couple of years later, I started meeting a friend. He showed me a song on the piano, and I found in my mother's house a piano, and I started playing piano there. And then, since then, very soon I was interested in improvising, and my approach to music was very improvised. And I studied classical music too, in the conservatory. And parallel to that, I was interested in jazz. Very soon I met Tete Montoliu, and I started to listen a lot of records, jazz records. And my approach to jazz was a kind of old school approach. I mean, through the records and meeting musicians and playing with other people. At the same time, I was doing my degree in classical music in the conservatory. And after that, I started playing in the local scene and meeting some musicians, American musicians, coming to Barcelona and tour. And well, after that, I made my trio. I was also collaborating with different musicians here I can highlight a couple of groups, one with a very wonderful bass player, Oriol Bordas, another with an American guitar player, Dave Mitchell. And after those years, around 30, I was starting to work more with my trio, and I started to record with my trio. Now I'm playing with my own projects, trio or piano solo concerts, and also comping different singers. Through my career, I have been comping a lot of singers too. And also I was one of the founders of the Barcelona Jazz Orchestra, one of the main big bands in Barcelona. And we are still going on with this big band after a long time. We have done some projects with him, the orchestra. We have done a project with Phil Woods, a tribute to Benny Carter, and also a tribute to Digi with John Faris. We have some recordings of that. Well, In my trios, I have been playing with regularly with musicians from Barcelona, from musicians like Horacio Fumero, Pierre Wilburido, or now Estebapi. Also, sometimes I have played with musicians like, occasionally, like Gregory Hutchinson, Alvin Quinn, Jeff Hamilton. And how I would define my style, piano style. Well, my style, it's something, I am very related with the tradition. I like very much the tradition from Art Tatum or Patch Waller to McCoy Tyner, Wynton Kelly, Ahmad Jamal, Oscar Peterson, Tete Montoliu. And also nowadays, musicians like Eric Britt or Benny Green. I'm feeling very, very near to their approach. What else I could say?
What is it about the jazz music? What is it about jazz music that you love so much?
And the first thing I like in jazz music was the freedom to improvise. Later on, I was deeping in that music, and I realized the rhythm and the sound, the powerful of the expression that this music have. And after the improvisation, maybe the rhythm have been my on jazz music. It's one of the main things that made me enjoy and feel free and feel happy and feel good with.
What is it that inspires your own compositions?
To compose, for me, my approach when I compose, normally I start thinking in a groove, in a rhythm, and also on a melody. I look always for a melody and rhythm, and then it's like painting. After that, you play with colors. You play with colors and harmony, colors in the form. But the first thing for me is starting with a good melody and a good rhythm approach.
Which musician would you say you have learned the most from? If you could pick the one that has been the most influential.
There are different musicians I have learned a lot from. I could mention Oscar Peterson and Art Tatum. I could mention playing live with Oriol Bordas, the bass player. I could mention Tete Montoliu as one of the main piano players in Europe that I could meet very, very near. And he was a good example for me too. And a lot of musicians that I like very much, and I have approached them through the records.
Of the albums that you have recorded, do you have a favorite of your albums?
Well, there are some, yes. One of my favorite albums is my solo piano album, Solid. It took a long time for me to decide to record a solo piano album. And at last I did that in a live concert. And I recorded a couple of concerts, and that is the double album that I did 3 years ago. And also, one of my favorite albums are a trio album I did in '99 at Jazz a las Foscas, Jazz in the Dark. It's also one of my.
You said that translates into Jazz in the Dark. When somebody goes and they listen to a concert that you're performing in, or when they listen to one of these albums of yours, what is it that you want the listener to get from the experience?
For me, to play jazz and play play music is expressing a feeling. I like to feel something when I play and express that. And I like the people be touched by that when people told me that, or tell me after the concert, okay, I'll be touched by this moment, or whatever. Is one of the things I like that. And not only feelings, also sometimes for me, as I told you, rhythm is one of the main things for me in music, in jazz. And you can be touched by the rhythm also. Something that moves you, or makes you move, make you move inside or outside. That's the thing.
What is the best thing about being Ignasi Terraza?
My approach, I'm trying to be sincere with my music and express what I feel and what I like. And also I have a lot of respect for this music, for jazz, and I want to play this music with my own sound, my own approach, but linking with all the respect to the main tradition of this music. And what I'm bringing to jazz or my way to play? Well, my way to play is related with a lot of jazz piano players, but also I think I have a kind of personal sound, and a kind of using or combining both hands that gives me a kind of unique sound, I think.
Not just in musicians, in all people. What do you value most in another person?
Sensitivity, sincereness, authenticity.
Yeah. I want you to tell us about how I became exposed to you as a piano player named Connell Fowkes, originally from England, but now he lives in New York, and he plays with Woody Allen, the filmmaker Woody Allen. And he said that one of the things he remembered most about performing in Barcelona was meeting you and performing with you. Do you remember Mr. Fowkes and Mr. Davis?
Of course.
Tell us about that.
They came during the time Woody Allen was recording their film Barcelona, in Vicky Cristina Barcelona.
See.
This film, they came for a month to record this film, and during that time there was a hotel where they used to do jazz, and they hired Connell and Mr. Davis to play every day as a home band, just in case Woody Allen would like to play a little with, and then they have promoted there was a good publicity about that, and then every day was the hall was packed because the people waiting to see if Woody Allen would come that day to play or not. And besides if Woody Allen comes or not, or came or not, Connell and Mr. Davis, they were doing a very good show, playing duo, and I connect very, very soon with Connell. We understood each other very soon, and I went some days to listen to him, and we met, we talked a lot, and also I was sitting in with him and doing four hands and playing a little with Mr. Davis, and I remember the experience of sharing the music with Connell, and those days are very good.
What did you think of the style and the performing that they did?
The style, they perform jazz, an approach of jazz, New Orleans jazz style done today. I mean, I don't like when some too much the labels of the. I understand that it's good to put labels to understand each other and to imagine what is sound, but sometimes labels are too much containing. Well, I don't the word. And in this case, they were playing very authentic New Orleans style, but I have listened also come out playing other things, and the main thing for me is not if they play it New Orleans or they play it modern jazz, they're playing Latin music, whatever. They were playing good music, and that is the thing I like when I listen to music I like or I don't like, and the main thing for me is if it's good music, well done.
What is the secret to making good music?
The secret is you can play whatever style you do. You have to be coherent with this language and express something alive, not copying something, making the moment happen in the moment now, in this present. You can play in a kind of language of Fats Waller or a kind of language of Wynton Kelly. Doesn't matter, but you have to make this moment happen new now and make and express yourself in this moment, making the music be alive now. And doesn't matter if you are playing in 2015 or if you are playing in 19.
This is a very open question. For anyone who listens to this, whether they're in Spain, in the United States, in England, in France, wherever they are, whoever is listening to this, what would you say to them?
Well, I would like to invite people to approach and to come and listen our music without, as I said, without labels. Just enjoying the music and I think nowadays there are too much talking about what jazz is jazz or not is not jazz. I don't mind about these discussions, but I have some values in music that I like very much and I'm looking for. These values, I found these values in the original jazz music from New Orleans to Coltrane, but I can find also these values in other music, and I can find these values also in other music. For me, these values are, as I said, the original sound of the instrument, the rhythm approach of this music that make me swing or make me enjoy the rhythm, make me dance, make me move inside or outside, and also this imagination and capability to improvise. And those are the values the improvisations make the moment happen in every moment, happen a new moment, something new. This is, you could find this in normal in jazz. And also I would add another thing that is coming from the blues is the capability to express your feelings and be sincere and playing from the heart and expressing what would you feel.
My last question. Who is Ignasi Terraza?
Well, Ignasi Terraza is a piano player, jazz musician from Barcelona, sitting in Barcelona, and who also has started a record label, Sweet Records, some years ago, with a catalog of 20 records. And There are some records of mine and records of other people too, but with a current line. And well, it's a musician that I think has something to say to you. If you listen, you give to him just a moment to listen.
Well, sir, thank you very, very much. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Paul. And thanks for giving this space to share the conversation.
How would you say farewell or in Spanish?
Bueno, hasta pronto.
Hasta pronto?
Hasta pronto is a see you later. I mean, farewell is que vaya, bueno, que todo vaya muy bien. Que te deseo my best wishes, ¿no? Something like this.
Aha. Well, I don't want to embarrass myself, so I'll just say adios, señor.
Adiós y muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you so much.
Ba doodly beep bop dee da dee bumpity boo rapity canaza jip bop killa canazza gill bond good jiga manga but this yeah hunger I get back in the woo I got the inga rock tinga langa bo I can't oh goodbye.